Welcome to episode 2 of my review of the book Escaping Emotional Abuse by Matthias. I forgot to mention in episode 1 that this book was written and published in 2019. And it's after Lauren has been married and divorced from her first husband, after she fell in love with her present husband, John, and also after the birth of her son. As I opened the book, I found it interesting that on the cover, there's a subtitle, A Healing Journey. And as you open the book, it says, Escaping Emotional Abuse, My Healing Journey by Matthias. Found that interesting. And the first picture of the book follows that title page. And it's a picture of Lauren on her wedding day to her first husband, looking out the window in an absolutely beautiful wedding dress, beautiful flowers, and she looks absolutely beautiful. So that kind of sets the tone for the book. And secondly, we move on to the dedication. She dedicated this book to her Aunt Ruth Ann, and as we go through the chapters, you'll understand the importance that Aunt Ruth Ann had in her life as she moved into divorce from her first husband. Of course, the acknowledgments go to her husband. The book has 29 chapters, many of them quite short, but we're going to start with chapter 1, A Prayer for My Resilient Heart. Chapter 1, A Prayer for My Resilient Heart, was really quite short. It starts out with the thoughts that Lauren had on the day before she was going to serve her husband with divorce papers. In January of 2015, Lauren writes a prayer of gratitude and desire, a list of many of the things she was grateful for in her life, and also a list of the things that she desired for her future. She finishes out the chapter by saying that she served her husband with the divorce papers on the day before her 35th birthday. Let's now move on to chapter 2 on friendship, strength through loss. In chapter 2, we are introduced to Lauren's Aunt Ruth Ann, and there's a very touching picture at the beginning of this chapter where Lauren is holding her aunt's hand. Her aunt has a hospital bracelet on, and we later learn that this picture was taken on Ruth Ann's deathbed. Ruth Ann was very important in Lauren's life, and she was the one that really encouraged her that when she received a job offer to be a news reporter in Boise, that she take the job, move away from her husband, and get away from that toxic relationship. She was able to visit with her aunt 2 weeks before the accident, which led to her aunt's death. And in the chapter 2, she shared what she wrote in her private journal about her aunt. And you get a real feel for the importance of this woman in her life. I did do a little research on my own. She lists her aunt as Ruth Ann Simmons Pitts, and I did read her obituary, And she was really quite a remarkable woman, and Lauren was fortunate to have someone like that in her life. So obviously, the death of her aunt was difficult for her, and I'm sure that she still misses her to this day.